Well, as I said that we're very mindful, it's that time where we give you the answer to this week's trivia question. But just to recap as to what the question was, I did ask you in saying that which was the first team from South Africa to qualify for the CAF Women's Champions League. Never do it alone, always do it with Jessica Bukama-Sonkoma. Should I say Auntie Diski?
Auntie Diski, who's very mindful.
Very demure.
I love that word. This is my favorite word. I say it about everything.
I hopefully research it demure. Are trivia question.
The correct answer is Mamelodi Sundown's ladies. They were the first South African team to represent us at Champions League.
Yep, the year 2021, Coach Jerry Shabalala as well as Agnes Nkosi, they were the two coaches at the helm of things. Shabalala was sitting in the stands.
Hey, remember, he didn't have license.
Zippy documents.
But we had somebody to basically, help us through it.
Well, if you didn't know, now you know. Talking about the CAF Women's Champions League, it's a competition that's coming up at the end of the year, specifically in November. But we don't know where it's going to be taking place. But we do know that South Africa will have two representatives, UWC as well as Mamelodi Sundowns.
Ooh.
That sounds... It's unreal.
In 2024, it's like, say it again.
UWs.
Before we speak about UWs, you spoke about the hosting. Yeah. It's going to be in November and we are...
in September, basically.
And we don't even know who's going to be hosting. I wanted to talk about that. Like for me, I just feel personally it's a little bit problematic. I feel like I wish there was a system that could perhaps be used, Brian mentioned this earlier to say that if there is a calendar for tournaments, whether it's COSAFA, whether it's Champions League, there should already be a calendar with the dates and with the hosts so that everybody is prepared and they exactly know where it's going to happen. It gives them enough preparation. I know that we're going to know in a month's time, but is a month enough for the country that's hosting in order to plan the logistics, the fixtures and everything like that?
Because it's not a competition that will advertise itself also.
Like your FIFA World Cup and your AFCON, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like we need to do a little bit of better in terms of the administrative part when it comes to picking the host. But we hope they are bidding and then we will know very soon.
Yep, and we just hope that it would be a little bit more transparent.
Definitely.
Right.
That's the word, transparency.
Transparent is the word that we want. Well, besides the fact that we don't know as to who is going to be hosting, we do know, as I said earlier, that South Africa will have two representatives. UWs, congratulations to Coach Tina Sonke.
Congratulations to Coach Tina. I'm so happy for her. This is the Tina we know at Banyana Banyana. This is the Tina we know at university football. And I think this is the first university team that's going to be participating in Champions League. This is such a huge moment, for the students and the players and Coach Tina. I think they showed resilience as a debutante, the way that they played. I feel like they did so well. And I'm super happy as a South African to also have another team, coming from South Africa. We're speaking about it last year and we're saying Casablanca and AS FAR.
Yeah, we're like Morocco, Sabawe.
We were like lighting candles and now we're here today having this conversation. But I think they did exceptionally well. They walked away with some phenomenal, awards as well. Let's just not talk about the fact that they've made it, they won COSAFA, but they walked away with some amazing prizes. And just to mention some, we walk away with the trophy.
Okay.
We've got the golden glove.
All right, Sma.
We've got the golden boots.
All right.
And we've got fair play. Airport. But I think it speaks volumes about the growth of South African football, especially university football, which a lot of people are not mindful of. And it goes to show you that, your tournaments like your USAs and your varsity cups
really
prepare you for things like this. And we want to see, your UJs coming through, your TUTs coming through, your tucks, because we know there is talent there. And I'm super happy that it's the young ones. I think that's the most important part about it.
Let's talk about what this victory will do for women's football within the country, because I'm looking at it from a perspective to say that maybe this can also lure some players into the country. We will have possibly someone from Botswana saying that I want to play for UWC because they play within the Champions League. There's the Hollywood Bet Super League, and it's possibly also an opportunity for me to study.
100%. I think it definitely speaks volumes, and it's now saying we are a force to be reckoned with. You know what I'm saying? We've seen how well UWC does in the Hollywood bets. You know, they finished second. They're always in the top 5, you know, in most cases. So I think it's an opportunity definitely to attract foreign players. I think the challenge would be it would attract a player that probably is looking at it from an educational perspective.
Okay.
You pay my fees, I play, and I get to also play
Trade
on
exchange.
continental football, 100%.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the financial conversation, it's a bit of a different story because we do know university teams don't necessarily have a salary structure.
Interesting that you say that. So then it also raises the question that what does UWC look like once, because we know Bosma, but they currently studying and all.
Yes.
Afterwards.
Yeah. What does it look like afterwards when, imagine if you had to then include the financial injection in UWC. So it's no longer just paying your bursary or your scholarship or whatever it may be, but we can also pay a salary. Now then you know that there's a specific group of players who probably aren't really opting for the educational part as a first option. But if now you're incorporating a bit of a financial gain for me, I'll definitely come and play. So you then have your experienced players, and then you have the young ones that are really chasing that educational.
We need to go, but we can't go without saying this. Quick, fast, in a hurry.
Yeah.
We know that the CAF Women's Champions League is coming up. 8 teams will be present. Currently, I think we've got 2 spots remaining.
So we've got, so basically we have now just recently secured CAF and UNEF, who are the last that are going to be joining.
Yes.
And then we're just waiting for the host to find out who is going to be making that 8th spot.
Alrighty, all we care about as South Africa is the fact that we'll have 2 representatives. So if one gets knocked out, all the way to the final, that would be insane. Yeah, but that's what we're going to. Oh, that's what we're going to wish. I've got goosebumps even thinking about it. Just like that, that's another episode of Fut-Afrique done, dusted, in the bag. Merci for your time. Let's do it again next week. Au revoir.